This
Yeah.
is the best
This is
podcast
gonna
ever.
end
All
so
right.
bad.
This is gonna be the hardest thing ever for us.
Nah, we've had harder things. All right.
Huh.
Game
So,
one.
all right. Well, for one, we figured out the rules for this game. That took years of troubleshooting.
And we're still messing them up sometimes.
Yeah. So, first question is, who wants to lead the group discussions? What?
Oh, jeez.
What happened?
Skype.
Yeah. Well,
You're gonna have to read that out loud. It's a podcast. We have to have this all
Yeah.
in wording. So. You can't, because there's nothing to show typing unless we go to like Roll20 and then type
Read it
there.
out loud, Ed.
Yeah, read it out loud,
well,
DM.
you're the one who typed it.
Because you're the DM. It's about your character.
You said it.
We've had harder things, says Ed, our peer of Trigun. Ta-da! I did it. All right. So this podcast is basically Mishi making me say things. Anyway.
Just started.
Can we just agree that out of everyone in this group, Mishi is like our own troll? In an affectionate way of saying it, but you are kind of a troll.
She is the sneaky snoo.
If we want to avoid spoilers in terms of character page, we could always just reveal someone from the last campaign.
True.
True, that's true.
Look at that.
Well, this campaign has evolved slightly with rules. That's another part of things. But yeah.
Well, Ed, you can always just use one of your characters. Explain it.
That's true.
You have a ton of them.
Do you have a character with a full sheet, Ed?
Most of them. Let me think. I'm trying to think of one that I can show that won't matter as much. No. Hang on. Yeah.
By the way, I apologize for the barking dog in the background.
It's fine. Yeah, especially with the nature of this campaign, it's really hard because it's like this person's an ally character now, but will they be an ally character for very long? Who knows? Anyway.
I am all. By
yeah.
the way, I'm showing like the Google Doc in the recording. Is that bad?
No, not at all.
Okay, as long as that's not a bad thing, 'cause I have that thing up. So.
That's fine. All right. So,
Whoa!
Whoa, what?
whoa,
What is this map?
what map?
There's a map.
I went on Roll20. I'm like,
Oh,
whoa!
no,
this
okay,
is a
okay.
thing
This
I
place.
didn't experience.
There.
Good,
now
good
we
job.
say-
Because I literally looked over there, like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh shit. You're
Why
gonna-
is there
you're
a
gonna have to edit
crotch
that.
here?
There's always a crotch. You know what? That's gonna be what I'm gonna zoom in on.
Here.
I don't know what's going on.
Neither
It's
do I.
20.
I'm
Alright.
on my way.
Me too.
Alright.
It's,
Alright,
it's you know,
alright.
it's Mr. Guy who's doing the breakdancing with his ass in the air.
Alright.
Mr. Guy.
Mr. Guy.
All right. So, how does the game work? We're gonna start by showing Nazim's character sheet and walking through how the rolls do.
Does that mean
Also, we're
Alright.
deciding on Nazim.
Isn't that what we decided on? Because that was because
I thought you wanted to avoid spoilers.
we were prepared?
You
Yeah.
can't win in this.
I can't win. There is no winning scenario. There is not.
Yeah, there's
Alright.
a lot going to happen, so.
I mean,
Yeah.
we could sign into the other campaign and show off like someone from the other campaign.
We could do that. All right.
You
Let's
DM.
try that.
So
But
go to
we've
the other
we've
game?
got a lot of other stuff that we've added since then, like the item stunts and all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
My lines are in there.
Okay.
How are you?
Well,
I don't know what's going on in the last. I entered the last game, and all it is like, Skunky and Ovis in like a library.
Oh no.
Oh, I remember that.
I
remember
don't.
that.
We were gonna make like a weird epilogue scene,
Oh, yeah.
and that didn't. Oh, I forgot that I like used to like.
Wait, that was an
Color-
epilogue?
Well, not an epilogue scene. Like they were gonna be like talking about things. It was a weird. It was a good idea, but like it didn't pan out because it was the implementation was awkward. I forgot that I like colored all of my buttons, the micros. I forgot.
Oh, I did too. Mine
Bless
were like
you.
rainbow.
Bless you again.
I should do that.
So,
Seems
so are,
like-
we going
yeah,
to the, are we going to the other game, or what are we doing?
Nazim. That was our original plan. Let's do that.
okay.
Don't hurt yourself.
Please show it.
All right. All
Ed?
right. All right.
You're gonna have
well,
to. Yeah, I would show it because if I show what I got, it's gonna be. Well, I mean, yeah, you can have to.
You want me to show it to all players?
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I can't say anything. That's what sounds like shit.
Right?
Super
Okay.
difficult.
You don't give a shit.
because,
It's Z.
Yeah,
because
He's not dead.
Raz, because
If that's what y'all are assuming.
so because Raz has to show off his character sheet every now and again anyway, we're gonna go ahead and spoil his character
Yeah,
sheet.
fuck me, right?
All right. So how this game works. One of the core parts of that is aspects. For example, Nazim has the aspect Charming Drug Lord, so he can use that to spend these fate points.
That wasn't supposed to be charming. 1 second. That's supposed to be intimidating.
Okay.
Yeah, it says
Charming on the.
intimidating.
Yeah,
It's
like
yeah.
I was just like, wait a minute. It's like, why is
What are
It's
people
intimidating
looking
in bio and info, but like under character sheet, it was charming.
Yeah. What's up? That was yeah. I think like that was
I
like
don't
the
know.
rough draft of him, and then we never changed it on the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That
What
makes
are you guys
sense.
looking
Let's go back to this. We're looking at Nazim's
So under your
character
characters,
sheet.
Nazim should be there somewhere.
Yeah.
Under
So
characters.
for example, so like he is, and then like he can get fate. He can spend fate points to re-roll, add +2 to his roll, or to make Nazim just show up in a situation, and all kinds of interesting stuff.
Fat chance.
And he can also use like anytime his character is in character, like if he's being an intimidating drug lord in some fashion, then he gets a fate point, Raz for Nazim.
You should
So-
you should explain what a fate point is.
I just did. I just did. You can with the +2 and the things, and
Hey,
yeah, I know.
Ed.
yeah.
What do the first two aspects of a character mean?
Okay, so the first one is your high concept. It's the general
I thought it was high
idea, general idea of what they are. Hence why this first one's intimidating drug lord. And
It
then
might help to open up the rules.
yeah, that's true.
Do you want me to open up the rules? Because I'll be going through 3 different things.
Yeah, no, go ahead and stick there. I'll be on going through the rules. Okay, so and the trouble aspect is basically their weakness, their Achilles heel, a big worry, a concern, a thing going on. And for example, with Nazim, his is what can't I do? As in, he just gets super overconfident and feels like he can just pull guns out and shoot people because he's mad at them. That kind of
What he do,
thing.
whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, and then and for the most part, the other aspects usually kind of have a duality with them, where it's like they can work in favor for the character, or they can be a bad. Like, let's get this over with for Nazim. Like, he's very impatient, so he pushes for things to get done, and he turns into a cranky pants, that kind of stuff. So that can be good for missions, and it can also be bad for missions. All right, so that's the basics on aspects and fate points. And now let's get into the skills, the way that they go. The thing that the main thing is that they have the skill pyramid going on. The white area here that you see is what?
I'm streaming and recording, and you're like, the white area here, and I'm like, where? I can't see. I'm the one showing it.
Fair enough. Okay, do you want to explain like your skills, your character
No,
skills?
you're the DM.
God damn it! All right,
You're already doing such a great
Yeah,
job.
see,
am I?
Yes.
Am I?
You are.
Anyway.
The only way that it could be better if you were doing it in character voices.
No.
You'd be here all night.
All right, so looking at the skills that Nazim has, you will notice that like the first bunch of them are in a pyramid formation and they're all in white boxes. These are what you need to fill out first when you're first making your character. And then the gray area is basically areas that you are able to fill out as you level up and stuff. And normally Fate Core doesn't really count your characters as having levels and stuff like that, but we've been keeping track of things by basically saying whatever amount of whatever
Level.
everybody's skill points add up to in the gray is basically what level they are. So Nazim has provoke, athletics, and strength in the gray. That's a +4, and then a 3 and a 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he's level 9. And yeah, you basically just the thing is you can't have like an aspect like just hanging out up here or something like that. It has to be on top of the pyramid. It has to lay down on top of things. It's a way to keep things balanced and keep it so that your character isn't like all over the place. And that's pretty much it for skills. There's a bunch of skills. There's a huge skill list. We've basically been lengthening our. We've been trying to make it so that characters can level up more during the course of the campaign by expanding the skill list, making because like the more skills you're able to get, the more complex the game gets. Basically, another thing that's part of Fate Core that we completely ignored. If you scroll down and look at the stress boxes apparently stressed people out. So we basically did a thing, and if you look in the extras, you'll see that we just have a normal like health bar and mental bar, and even like a wealth bar, so that they kind of like replenish their wealth if it's under a certain amount for every session. Just because it made more sense to people's brains, and we based that off of certain skills. Health is, I believe, based off of tolerance. Yeah, and then mental is inner strength, and wealth is resources. And yeah, but we still did keep consequences because that's a really key part of how things would go. Because basically, once you run out of health, then you have mild, moderate, and severe consequence boxes where you can put the damage in, and that will affect your skill rolls and stuff like that. And then if all else fails, you have to remove if like anything that's like basically over 8 amount of damage after you're already at 0 health points and stuff like that. You have to take out one of your aspects, and that basically like gets filled that in, and then that aspect gets replaced with something that's very negative for the character. And after that, if you take any more hits, you die. You dead. You're very dead.
Yeah.
And yeah. Anyway, then we've got stunts, which you can see to the side next to extras. And basically you can have like 3 to 5 stunts, but that affects how many fate points you naturally refresh every session. And usually there's something nifty like this one. Favorite weapon, +2 to aim when using his sawed-off shotgun. Well, I guess that basically became a and then, like, I guess there's also, like, we've got new, like, weapon stunts and stuff like that, but they're a separate thing where you can have, like, up to 3 fancy cool, like, charms or weapons or just, like, a nifty item that helps you out with stuff. That has been something I've needed to nerf that drastically. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah. Normally a stunt or even, like, an item stunt of some kind is something that, like, amplifies a character's abilities. Or even like makes it so that they use a different skill in place of another skill, and a lot of times for the really fancy like weapon or item stunts, they'll have requirements like you'll need to have like a +4 or higher of a certain skill or an aspect that reflects something about a character specifically, that kind of a thing. And yeah, that's that as far as the character sheet goes.
What about inventory?
Okay.
That's got your stuff.
Yeah, you want to. Yeah, pretty much. You want to list the stuff that you've got, because that might come and bite you in the butt if you're like, oh, my character has this, and I'm like, no, you don't. Like you have to. Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Although if your character doesn't have something, and you want to declare that they do, you just spend a fate point on it.
Or you could roll resources, can't you, to do things? To be like, do I have this?
That's true. I think that's something we've been doing too. Yeah. Yeah. I think we've done that. You gotta buff the fish?
No, there was he had a puffer fish in his inventory.
Oh.
I was just like, what?
Is that spoilers?
Spoilers. It's right there. For some reason.
All right. Is there anything else about that we should go over to help people understand how the game goes?
I think it's good enough.
Yeah, Nazim's cool.
All right, yeah, Nazim is cool. We like Nazim. All right.
Was cool.
Spoilers.
We don't know. You don't know. All right. Yeah, we are definitely gonna have to start posting videos again pretty soon. All right. So, what has changed from last campaign?
Gee, I don't know. I wasn't here.
A lot has changed from last campaign. Like
people.
New people.
Yeah.
Our group in general.
Definitely. The way we've been operating our goals with game, even like I feel like everybody's getting a lot more competitive with me as of late. Just saying.
We have better rules.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think it's more fair this campaign than last campaign
We've
in terms
we've
of OP characters.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely true.
we've
A lot of
customized
that.
a lot.
Yeah, that's definitely thanks to Mishi. It's been helping with that, definitely. I mean, we all have been contributing, but definitely Mishi with that. What else has changed from last campaign?
Last campaign I couldn't talk because I didn't have a mic. And now this campaign I don't talk because I have a mute character.
So either way, you just don't want to talk to us.
Pretty much.
Yeah, she doesn't like us that much.
I don't blame you.
What else? I
Um,
think it's easier for us to schedule sessions this campaign. Like, it doesn't show on recordings or sessions or stuff, but behind the scenes, I feel like we figured out a way to, like, schedule.
yeah, I agree. And a lot of things have gotten like a lot easier just because we're used to certain mechanics of the game and we've worked kinks out.
We've done like 4 sessions in a fucking row.
I know.
It's
I'm
fucking
proud of
impossible.
us. GG.
Spoilers.
Well,
That's just.
that's not a spoiler. How is that a spoiler?
Everything in the spoiler.
Oh, session over.
I'm getting better with perspective, so the tokens look a little better.
I'm not
All
getting better with perspective, but I'm trying harder, so there's that.
Tokens look awesome. Yo.
Did you draw a token for last? Oh, you did. What's her name?
Yeah,
I can't
uh,
remember her name.
Ariel.
Starts with an A. I just do that.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
mute too, wasn't she?
She was, yeah. Well, kinda. She had like some like it was like a PTSD symptom. She was really struggling to speak. She was like physically capable, but like also like mentally incapable. She had to sort of so she was only had like 2 words, I think, in that that campaign.
Man, I need to come up with that thing so I don't have to talk to people.
Oh my god, you guys remember sub skills?
No.
Oh my god.
Yes, I remember.
I hate those. Like the problem was we had all like we realized that we basically needed new skills, but nobody wanted to like sacrifice all the leveling up that they'd been doing with their character. So then we just tried to like circumvent that, and it was a mess. It was just a mess.
In our quest to customize our game to fit all of our needs, sometimes we made it a lot more complicated and horrible.
But we've learned from that. That's what's important.
We've learned.
Yeah. What else has changed from last campaign?
We've gotten better at role playing, probably.
That's fair.
None of us
We
try
definitely
voices,
have.
but Ed. I did with Skunky last time.
We don't adopt NPCs.
That's true. I was expecting.
No, Unum adopted one without wanting to. Without
Spoilers.
me wanting him to.
Spoilers!
Oh, it already happened.
Did it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the rat friend.
Oh, the rat. I was just thinking.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Oh,
I was
okay.
thinking of someone else. I forgot about the rat.
Oh,
Raz, I think I know who you were talking about, so I
Same.
got you.
We're all
Okay,
been too far
okay.
ahead.
Okay, but to be fair, I've definitely like even when you like quote unquote adopt OCs, I'm a lot better at like keeping them from like joining the party and warping things. Like your characters have to be doing your own shit. You guys don't rely on like my half-baked characters.
Did we do the bank yet?
Yeah.
This was like right after the bank.
Oh, okay.
We should have watched
Yeah.
the last few minutes just to know what the hell happened last.
Because
That
like
should've-
Unum
that
was
should've
just
been
gonna like Unum was just gonna be like peace, but Ed was like, you should save that rat, and I'm like, damn it.
Okay, who the fuck?
Yeah,
who the fuck is the dinosaur?
Okay, so I am definitely working on like because I'm trying to figure out the balance because like it's basically a mechanic in the game that you kind of like make characters do stuff, like with their aspects because you can just be like because you words you can just be like, oh hey, your character has this aspect. Do you want me to like give you a fate point for following along, or do I take a fate point from you for you to not follow along? And like, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out like making it really about their characters and not about me and my plot lines. But I think I've gotten a lot better at that. I feel like the more I try to like, how do I explain that without explaining that? Spoilers. Shit, this is harder than I thought it'd be. The more I raise the difficulty level in the game, the easier it is for like everybody to sort of like compel their own characters and for me to compel them and for things to make more sense. Like it's like because it makes it about them and not about me trying to make plot things happen. But yeah, I've gotten better at that from last campaign.
Game has gotten harder, but we've gotten better.
We have weather.
Yeah, we do
We
have
have
weather.
weather.
But that's a spoiler.
Hey, spoiler!
That's like way into the future.
It's not a plot spoiler, but
It's not a plot
We got a
spoiler. I think I'll
cool-ass
keep.
weather.
It's a mechanic spoiler.
mechanic spoiler. We're gonna have weather.
That was a smart
Yeah, pretty-
idea.
I'm pretty sure last campaign there was, I mean, we weren't like as great with like having music all the time, and sometimes like we had trouble with finding good musics and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot
It
of
got
music
better
this
like
time.
into like the last couple arcs, but like at first it was like,
I remember Ed accidentally played a song with like moaning on it.
What?
What?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember this, but I believe you.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I know
When
exactly.
Dax and Ovis were on the ship cargo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
Mm.
God damn it.
Yeah,
Gosh, Ed, what
I
kind
get-
of music do you listen to?
Jesus.
copyright free music, okay?
Oh, hey, different than last campaign, none of our characters have actively tried to kill another player character yet.
Spoilers.
That's, I am glad for
Man,
that.
last campaign, like that was all my
I-
character was trying to do.
And that wasn't even the first time.
No, it wasn't. I think Mary tried to kill Abby like 5 times. I think Abby tried to kill everybody. Like, it was just... Yeah, we've learned how to have, like...
I like
Help.
that. That's kind of funny. You play good guys and y'all were trying to kill each other. Well,
Yeah.
quotes.
Right?
Good guys, like playing bad guys and none of us are trying to kill each other. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, when you're
Well-
good, you're even more of a shithead. Self-righteous pieces of shit. Fuck heroes.
They couldn't die as heroes, so they lived to become the villains.
Something like that.
Get on my little.
Or live enough to become undead, like the Dead Trio.
Honestly.
I heard Doug Drio.
Where have we been?
Are we done with what we're done with?
I think so. Unless y'all can think, I can't think of anything else that's changed.
AK, what the fuck is up with the hiatus?
Oh yeah, where have we been?
We're
Life.
busy.
Yeah.
Also, we had audio issues.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I moved at the beginning of the year, and we had this audio issue, and I was like, I can solve this in, like, a week. And it took me, like,
Half a year.
Wait.
6 months.
I
I...
moved as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's just life thing after life thing just kept happening, and that didn't help.
Yeah.
But
All
yeah,
of us
we're
having jobs and stuff.
yeah.
Suddenly, I have a question. Did we do the bank robbery thing when I was still in Alaska, or
That's a good question. I don't know. I think so.
Yeah,
That's another
I
thing.
would think so.
Like I moved in with my grandparents, and Song is like on this continent now, and like
Song was on the continent before, Ed.
Alaska's not an island, Ed.
Yeah. Ed, is it beige?
I'm gonna mute myself now. Okay.
Honestly,
but
I moved in with my dad.
I'm
Yes,
sorry,
actually,
Ed, but I was gonna say like DM for dumb much.
Oh,
But I'm only joking.
shit.
I'm only joking. I know it's mean, but I don't mean it.
I know you're good.
Mesh and Raz are the only ones who haven't moved in the past, like.
I don't have money
That's-
to move.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
hey,
wait. Speaking of move, should we warn people about the next move?
What now?
What?
The short hiatus because I'm going to Vegas.
Oh yeah, Song's going to Vegas.
That's gonna be a while.
True.
It's at the end of the month.
We'll have.
Yeah, but we
plenty-
have the backlog of
Yeah,
uploads.
we have like
Yeah.
a backlog of like, never mind, a lot.
Yeah, if we uploaded like one video every week, it would still take like 2 months to get through all of them.
Yes, it
Something.
would.
Okay, never mind. Then you guys got your videos. You don't need me.
Yes.
No,
Gabby,
no, that's not what we're
Gabby-
saying.
Gabby has
I'm
her
talking to the
videos.
viewers.
Oh, okay.
Viewers.
No, you guys don't need me anymore. I'm just the living billboard. Hello.
Life is busy. I
Yeah.
graduated high school. I'm
Yay.
gonna go to college.
Woo.
I'm gonna get a job. Hopefully.
Yay. I'm jobless.
Yay.
I have, I guess,
wish
a
I
really
was.
weird sort of internshipy situation.
Yay.
Kind of.
My life never.
I made a
changes.
game.
I'm gonna work at a Jimmy John's and make sandwiches.
Oh yes.
Hopefully. Helps if I turn in the application.
Yes.
Yeah, that usually helps. So that's where we've been.
That's where we've
Yeah.
been.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
where we've been.
Character development.
Yeah. How
It
have they
got
changed?
better.
Yeah. Like,
Well, I mean-
for one, Nazim went from charming to
Yeah,
intimidating.
he started like I made him charming at first, but then like Percy was charming. I was like, no, fuck that shit. No. Like that was like not the main thing. The main thing was he went from charming to just be a complete asshole to everybody. So I was like, yep, he's just gonna be intimidating from now on. That's literally all he did was fucking intimidate everyone.
Wait, this team was supposed to be charming?
At first. Like
Go back to
before he played, but when I played him, then he turned into like this asshole, and I'm like, well, that's him.
Okay.
To be
He's not
fair,
charming.
you and I accidentally made very similar characters.
Yeah, but you were a lot less the talkative one. Nazim is like, fuck you, fuck everyone, and I will admit, saying it out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Percy's like, I'm gonna keep this to myself.
Yeah. We should
He's the-
communicate more when we make characters, like Mish has.
Yeah. Like you guys have been wanting to go on a more secretive route at the beginning of this campaign, and that was like, and I keep having to like remind you guys, it's like all your choice, because like there's been so many times where Song didn't know if she should talk about her aspects or not, and it's just like, it's up to you, it's not up to me, calm down. But yeah,
Alright, so from now on, like my next, like any IOCs after this, they're not gonna be secretive.
all right, noted, cool. But yeah, oh man, so much like character development. Yeah, I did notice that those two were kind of similar when you were making them, but at the same time, I was just like, but these are the kind of similar characters where they would cause absolute chaos together.
And then they work
You know?
together pretty nicely later.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Well,
Not this one. This one is the fucking bank. So the bank one, we fucking ruined it like the whole time. That was the shittiest shit show I've ever seen.
Oh, you think?
yeah.
Oh man,
My character got shot at, okay?
it's okay.
When isn't your character shot at?
It's so true. Hazel is like public enemy number one.
It's because she's such a bamf.
A what now?
A bamf.
A what?
A bamf.
A what?
A
Explain.
badass
Explain your
motherfucker.
internet talk.
I think people on the internet would know what BAMF is by now.
A badass
I don't.
motherfucker.
Now I know.
God damn it, Ash.
I was just hoping that you would. Never mind. I wanted you to say it.
I did. Didn't you hear
You
me?
just said
Did
bamf. You didn't say
I-
badass motherfucker.
I did. Did you not hear me about Mike being a bet? I do not know.
People were talking over you.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
Was
god.
it you?
No.
Okay. And
Immediately blame Ash.
Same.
me.
Relatable.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
So,
We were the worst.
So who other characters have changed when they were played?
Yeah.
The team changed. Pretty good.
I didn't plan
Perfect,
on
yeah.
Unum to be like a farmer.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that just happened. But I like it.
All the potatoes and all the cranberries.
Hmm
So adorbs.
What about Hazel? Did Hazel come out different than you anticipated?
Jesus Christ. There were so many characters on the drawing board before Hazel. Hazel was just like the last ditch effort, just like, okay, here's all these plans together, throw it onto the playing board, go.
Wild.
What about Percy?
He's changed a bit. He's become more like ambitious and stuff, and like he's more stubborn, I feel like, than I originally anticipated making him to be. But you know,
But yeah, so
He's-
sorry for my yeah, go on.
I don't know what I was gonna say.
Well,
Damn it.
so are we done with that one?
I think
Yeah.
so. That's
Yeah.
pretty
We
much
have
all-
it.
all went
characters.
around.
They've changed.
Yeah, I can't say much about my character because we're not that far into the thing yet.
Yeah,
Well, she's
And
had
how
some-
have your characters changed?
we can't talk about it.
Yeah, we can't talk
Yeah.
about it yet.
Well, I'll definitely say that a lot of them came out way differently than I expected.
Good.
Were any of them more bald than you planned?
Yes, just one.
Jesus Christ.
Spoilers.
Yes, spoilers indeed. Cool. So
All
we can
right.
go on to Gabby's questions.
Yeah.
All right, questions.
Wait, was Gabby seriously the only one who asked us
Are
questions?
you fucking surprised?
Not really.
Gabby's like the only one who watches.
It's weird to me because I know there were a couple people who like came to me and they were like, "Hey, how do I ask questions?" I'm like, "Go to there," and then they never ask them. I don't know if they're just
They're
scared
just
or
being
what.
polite. How do you
Something
ask
like that.
questions?
Or
Why
they're
don't
just
ask them?
like, they want to like give you false hope, like, oh man, I'm asking where to give him the questions, and he's gonna wait for it, and I'm never gonna give it to him.
That's something I would do.
I gotta say, I just like to think that, you know, we have our group here and Gabby just in the background holding up little flags.
Gabby
just like,
is the only one in the audience going, yay!
exactly. She's just giving so much support and so much enthusiasm. Just like, yeah, you got this. She has enough enthusiasm to fill a crowd.
Believe me, I know.
She
When's the
waves
next
the yay
video
flag.
coming out, huh? Huh? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll post it soon.
Did she really do that to you,
Well,
Maris?
she's always like, I want to know what happens. I miss it. I miss it a lot. I have to watch Critical Role because there's never any more Games of Fate. And I'm like,
Oh.
so you're substituting something like this for something amazing.
I know, right?
She doesn't. She likes Critical Role, but she likes Archcrap more. So I'm
Aw.
like, I don't understand. I'm like, how? Critical
I
Role
have
is
so
shit,
much
yo.
love for Gabby. Gabby's amazing.
I have no
Can we
love for
just take a moment to just say how awesome Gabby is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gabby's the best.
Yeah.
Fuck
Agreed.
all y'all.
So,
Damn,
So-
that escalated quickly.
what is the process like when creating new characters?
Say what now? Oh, the process.
Yeah. Like, do you often give your characters similar traits as yourself, or make a character as different from you as possible?
Both.
I go to a website and randomly generate characters,
Nishi, how could you?
and I cherry pick what I like and don't like.
Damn, I never knew.
Honestly, same.
I make all my OCs, like, from the ground up.
Fair enough.
But I made the zine
Then I
in a
like-
way that I wish I could talk sometimes to people.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to tell people to fuck the right off. So
Yeah.
many times.
It's that over confidence.
Yeah, I want it. I don't have, like, I lack confidence. It's, I wish I had this, even though it'd get
Yeah.
me in a lot of trouble.
Half the time when an NPC is having when I'm having an awkward pause to figure out what an NPC would say, it's because I already know what they would say and how it might sound like, but I have to like summon the guts to say it like they would, like basically.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, with my writing background, I was taught that like the best characters are like 30% you, like no, one third you, 1/3 someone you know, and then 1/3 shit you make up. And so, like, I always try to like put some of myself in my characters, but I also like, mess around with a lot of stuff and ideas.
Yeah,
Fair.
very relatable.
Yeah, I do that a bit. Like, I try not to put too much of myself in characters, and usually, like Raz said, it's more of like things I wish I could be. But I also like draw a lot of inspiration from people around me and like websites of character generators. I'm like, ah, yes, that would be a good thing. I just pluck little traits and add them to my character. You know?
Makes
Don't
sense.
know.
What about you, Sangisu?
I gotta say a little bit of both. I mean, like, with Maris, I feel like I put too much of myself into her character, which is why she was so chaotic, and why Hazel's a little more chill than her, at least a little. Because with Hazel, I didn't put too much of myself in her. I put more of what I wish I was. I wish I was a badass like she is. I wish I was as strong as she was. So I made her more like what I wish to be, as opposed to like what I did with Maris as to what I'm actually kind of like. So
Can you
Hey.
imagine that? We made how we wanted to be as bad guys. We all want to be bad, but then again, I'm already bad. Yeah, get on my level.
If I was a bad guy, what kind of a bad guy would I be? I'd be a cool bad guy.
Be a
Oh
bald
yes.
bad guy.
Apparently, I would be a farmer.
Well, to be fair, your name doesn't seem very evil.
He gets stuff done though.
Gab,
He does, I
he's
swear.
always doing something.
You don't know it yet because it's only been like 5 sessions, but he does do things.
like take naps.
So
You
many.
should put quotes for the naps thing. Takes naps. You've never.
Quote unquote.
What you're
Unum is napping.
doing. Nazim did not trust that little shit.
I don't think anyone should. Like, what kind of 13-year-old would like join like
Yeah,
a crime
seriously.
syndicate?
Apparently, the farmer kind.
Oh, that's everybody. So okay, we can. I was like, who hasn't answered this question yet?
I think we all did. Oh god.
is there a type of character you cannot play?
Yeah. That one I was like literally thinking about while y'all were answering the other question because I had to think about it.
Go for it.
And like I can't play characters that are like give no fucks and that are just horrible people, like are like racist and sexist and
that's
like
fair.
awful.
That's I can't play a racist
I
character.
can't. Yeah, exactly. It's like no, I don't want to. No, it's just not fun. And like my characters like usually at least like care about the group to some extent, have like some reason. They're never just like, well, y'all could go fucking die for all I care. Which is
well,
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think I can play like babysitter characters
Maris? Just kidding.
where they're like, "Oh, come on, let's I have to
Excuse
take care of everyone." I mean, I don't hate on anyone who can, but I personally cannot. Like, I don't have the patience for it. Like, I cannot put in the energy to make sure everyone's together, to make sure everyone's safe. Like,
Oh my God,
if something
sounds
dangerous is happening, I want my character safe and I want them out of there. I'm not going to be like, "No, I must save the whole team." I can't do that.
That's fair. That's
Nice.
totally fair.
But given the chance to protect like my character and another character, I'd be like, "Tough luck, dude."
See? I'm not the only one who played a character like this. It's like, fuck you all. Good scrum.
But yeah, I can't do a babysitter character.
That's a good one.
What about you, Sangisu?
I feel like I kind of already stepped like a toe over the line with that, just because I have a hard time with my character. You know, that's right. That was like the second session when Hazel had to kill that bystander, that pompous guy. Honestly, with me, that's kind of hard for me to do. I don't like killing like innocent people I view who are innocent, which is why I wouldn't be able to play like a character kind of like what Ash was saying, that's like sadistic, because I cry when I see like a dead bunny. That's how bad I am. So I couldn't imagine a character who's just like, oh, I'm gonna kill all these people and I'm gonna laugh and bathe in their blood. I can't do it.
I like those characters. They're fun.
Yeah, what just like there's I can't say it because it's spoilery, but there is one scene in the future, not gonna lie, that kind of got to me just because it involved something that I extremely dislike, like something that hits a button and I just know.
I don't recall this.
It's I hold on. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead. You can go ahead and
Yeah,
type
we could-
Ash. But
Ash?
To everyone.
or you can also type in the main thing. But yeah, type of character I cannot play. I'm sorry to say that racism is not my limit. But like, because I definitely like exploring like all kinds of like moral lines with
Right.
characters as well, and also I have to create the antagonists for you guys.
Yeah.
Be they like evil or what. But oh gosh, I've definitely I think one thing that has changed over time is that like I've gotten better. Like there are certain things that I had limits with before that I don't have now. Like literally when Iris was becoming a thing last campaign with Maris and Atal, my first thought was like, oh, thank God that it's the asexual character I have, so I don't have to like make them all mushy and like because just the idea of that, like even though nothing would like happen on screen or whatever, it still just made me like really uncomfortable. I think part of that is also who you're role playing with and stuff. But anyway, yeah, I've gotten a lot better at that, but I think that some definite limits that'll always be there will be stuff like, well, I don't think I will ever have a need to roleplay somebody who is a rapist.
Oh,
like,
yeah. No thanks.
just like
Please
no,
no.
that's
No.
not like when I was having Trigun be all like exploring Trigun's character, and he's like the psychopath and stuff like that, and he was like, well, that's that's just boring approach. That's just a boring thing to do. That might have been me projecting a little bit, keeping myself safe from that kind of thing. But yeah, I have limits here and there, but I'm down for pretty much like any kind of character.
It's good. You have to be
You can take
versatile as a
your preview,
DM.
depending on your DM's got more of the antagonist things, so you have more open. I don't think I could play a rapist, sexist, like any kind of like thing like that for a long time because it would drive me insane to have to sound like voice their opinion like this. I'm like, no, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Kill him now.
Yeah.
Kill it
and-
with fire.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Because
like
I would hate my OC so much that I wouldn't want to play them.
exactly. You have to find something likable about them, you know. And and if it's at a certain level where you're just like, nope, then yeah, exactly. So it's like, what's the point? What is the point of this? So that's yeah. But anyway, Animus.
That was a pretty good question.
Yeah, that was a good question. Next one's a good one too. What is your favorite Games of Fate moment?
We can't say much because I think mine happens further, and so
Okay, fair enough.
Any moment that makes me laugh like an insane person.
That's a lot of moments.
I will admit that like I really enjoy very successful moments of my OC.
Yeah.
Those are fun when I do something that I never thought that would work out and it works out. And I'm like, holy shit, that's a good feeling.
Yeah.
But there's a few.
I think mine is when Ovis finally killed Maris, because like I tried so hard to do it, and then like
See,
I finally did it. I'm like, yeah.
but then she came
Thanks,
back.
Richie. I love you too.
I mean,
But then she came back.
you came back. Maris came back to life, but just because like
She's a zombie.
the whole arc though, like Ovis's goal was to kill her. So when it finally happened, I was like, yeah.
See?
Did it. And then like Trigon was a butt about it, and then, so
Yeah.
Wait, he was?
cycle. Well, Atal was a butt about it, and then Trigon was a butt about that. So just lots of butts going around.
I'm sure.
So many butts.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you,
Then,
Ash?
Second to that is the Molotov.
Yeah, the part was amazing.
Oh my god. That...
Yeah.
I was about to say my favorite moments definitely include kind of exploiting the rules to make it work in my favor. just like whenever I'm able to do something that's like makes Ed go like, wait, what? Wait, no, what are you doing? And it's just like, yeah, I can do this. This is a thing I'm doing. Like pulling out a Molotov and
Yeah.
taking down a neck boss thing with it in like one shot, and Ed is like, well, what the fuck? And
Oh
then
my
like the next arc over when Vivian literally lied to the Queen's guards to make the
Oh yeah, that
guards
was
kill
funny.
the Queen.
Yeah.
That was funny.
It was just like, yeah, I did that. That's the thing I did.
I think I got a favorite scene, and it involves it's the scene where Vivian is hassling Trigon and not giving him the salt. That whole kitchen moment in the
Oh.
second arc,
Yeah.
I don't.
and Draco just eating out of Trigon's bowl and just that scene.
Oh, that reminds me of the other one the with Vivian when she was getting kidnapped and like they were disarming her by starting to take all of her knives, but
Yes.
I remember that.
she
Never
just
ending
had
knives.
yeah, she just kept having knives because that was my stunt for her, is that she didn't run out of knives. And it
Never
was-
ending daggers. Okay, I'm sorry.
And it just, I'm glad that, because it was always a useful stunt to have, but then it just was like, that moment was like, made it all worth it,
Yes.
honestly.
My one thing that comes to mind is now because they were talking about the old campaign is Vivian's boot, just
Oh,
leaving
no.
the boot in the sewers. That was a beautiful moment. Some of my favorite bits are like the bank, just all of that.
That was a
Oh.
nightmare.
Like
For us.
there are three things that I always think are really great. One are when player characters are interacting with other player characters, like and having their own intense dialogue and storyline things going on. Another would be like when the players are like Ash was saying, they're just I have presented a scenario, and not only have they like defeated the scenario, but they've done it in a way that I did not even fathom, and I'm both impressed and kind of embarrassed, and
Kind of like the future scene.
yeah, but I also like the reverse a lot when I started getting a lot more merciless towards the player characters, and really had to like get the players to beg for fate points and etc. And honestly, I'm embracing my mischievous side. Mwah,
Oh, wait. I got one. When
Hmm.
Percy decides to give up and just lays in the goop.
Yes.
Yeah.
He just lays down and takes it.
Annika's gonna kill
That
me.
whole bank scene was like
The
it was
whole
great. It was horrible because everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, but that also made it so great.
Exactly. It was wonderful. I loved that.
Who else hasn't said their favorite goth moment?
Mish, have you mentioned a favorite goth moment?
The one where she said the Ovis killed Maris.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And what? And Raz, you were saying that most of yours are like. What about like, skunky stuff, or
I don't recall much. That was too short.
Oh, when he was drawing the dragon.
Ooh, I also liked when Ovis was like cock blocking Rue and Rinny. That was really fun.
That's fair.
You know, at the time, Maris trying to kill Abby's character was like stressful, but looking back on it, it's kind of hilarious. And the whole time, I was just internally like rooting for Maris to kill Abby's character.
Thank you.
It's like,
Thank
you go,
you.
Maris.
If Abby's mom hadn't interfered,
Oh yeah, and Abby's mom interfering, meaning that was like the best.
that was ridiculous. What were we doing? What were we trying to accomplish for the campaign? That we were a mess. We were
Yep.
just a hot mess.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're still a hot mess.
true.
Just more professional about it.
Now that since we're talking a lot of past stuff, is there something you wish you had done differently at some point in the game?
Oh,
I'm just not gonna talk because everyone knows what that is for me.
I
I
have-
don't.
I have.
all too well.
Huh.
You don't.
Wait, what was
refresh.
it?
Look
Wait,
in-
what?
Look in Skype.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, that's this campaign.
Are you talking about the last one?
Are we not talking about the last one?
I mean,
I
you
thought
can
we
talk
were
about
sticking
either.
to this one because I mean, yeah, it could be this both of them.
Yeah,
I
it could
mean,
be
I would
either
assume
one.
it's more for this one because I.
Yeah, I also
that's
thought of
too
art
old.
too.
That's like
I-
the old days. We'd be playing that session if we were talking about that one.
Yeah, and Ed, spoiler.
I know I'm gonna have to like beep that part or something.
Yeah, but yeah, that part I wish didn't happen. I suck.
Are you talking about the old game or this one?
I'm talking about this one, the one
Okay,
that you
cool.
just typed in chat.
Okay, I was
But
making
the-
sure. I was
But
making sure that you're.
in the old
So-
campaign, everyone still knows what I'm talking about.
No,
I don't.
I
No, I
don't.
don't.
Yes, you do. I bring it up almost every month at this point.
I
Do
don't-
you?
I
You
don't
could
know.
say it.
Yeah, just say it.
It's not spoiler.
Yeah.
The building, the freaking
Oh
marriage going
yeah.
to set fire to the building.
Well, I mean that took an interesting turn plot wise. I mean, it was your
Gotta
character's mistake, not yours. You know.
that was my mistake because I was so out of character. I was having such a bad day. I was so angry about work. And plus, because of that scene, Ovis and Maris couldn't be friends, and that sucks.
Do you want to be friends with Ovis, really?
Yes,
I wouldn't want to be friends with Ovis, to be fair.
who doesn't want to be friends
Me,
with Ovis?
I do not want to be friends with Ovis.
He just gave you an example of a person.
I
Oh,
would
fine.
not.
You don't get to be friends with him.
I don't.
Oh.
I, want to be
I
friends
just
with
wish
Ovis.
there was an
No.
alternative universe where the two of them could have been friends.
Oh no, I remembered my thing I wish I had done differently.
Is it
What?
not spoiler?
Not spoiler.
Not
It was
touching
definitely
the fucking orbs in the fucking.
no. This was like last campaign.
Oh,
I
okay.
wish I hadn't tried to violently murder Kind.
Oh yeah, that was a
Oh,
very strange
yeah.
part. I was just like, what the fuck is
Okay.
going on?
That
That-
was like
that-
3 a.m. too. That was the let's not have sessions at
Yeah.
3 a.m.
I was just like,
That was
I don't
what was
get what's
disturbed
going on.
that, yeah.
whatsoever.
That was something.
Yeah, that was wow. Been a long time since we had a moment like that, so that's good.
We haven't had a
Um,
moment like that, have we?
No, we haven't. This campaign's been way better. And
I mean, we haven't tried to kill each other yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yet.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen.
Well, I mean,
No, that-
it's a lot less likely
It's
that
probably gonna be like, man, I can't kill them, so I'll make them kill each other.
you should so do that. That'd be awesome. Just create like a complete rivalry, like they have two sides.
It's a-
I love that.
It's a TPK that you guys made yourselves.
I am so fucking down for that.
down.
Bring it on,
No.
motherfucker.
Unum will kick y'all's butts.
Unum will run away and never be
Somehow.
seen again.
Hunger
No, see,
Games.
we
I
would all
wish
be
I
we would
could-
all be fighting, and then Unum would push something, and then we'd all just get crushed under something. It's like, oh yeah, there we go.
Yes.
Unum wins.
Yes. Something I wish I'd done differently was, I wish Ovis said no to Trigun.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious, like, how everything would have played out if he said no.
No to what? The butt touching thing?
Yes.
All of the touching.
Well, I mean, yeah,
So
that
much
was
touching.
like I remember when I watched that, I was like, oops, no, please God, no. Why with your standards? Standards.
Something I wish I had done differently was like, because Ovis was a very interesting character. We all thought he was great, but I should have just I needed to let him go. I needed to let Mishi have a new character and stuff like that, and instead it just made a lot of awkward situations. Just trying to like keep all these characters in the same area, and it just made things really weird at the last part of the campaign.
Yeah, like at the end of the campaign, almost everybody hated each other.
Pretty much, like
That was
like,
the downfall.
yeah, they survived the day, but
At what
At
cost?
what cost? Jinx.
exactly. It's one thing I wish I had done differently, but you know what? I have learned not to do that, and I can carry on with that in the next campaign. And if everybody has backup characters in case their character dies, because characters can do that at any time, any session, for any amount of reasons.
What, really? They can die? Please give me an example of a sudden character death.
Another thing I wish I'd done differently. I wish I had started cracking down on this stuff sooner. Like, at first I kept things easier for you guys because I was new to DMing and you guys were new to playing this game. No one knew what we were doing, and now we kind of know what we're doing.
Kind of.
So, trying to work on that. Yeah, it's just trying to make things more. I'm getting there. I'm figuring it out.
We're doing a great job.
Yeah. Braz, is there anything you wish you had done differently at some point?
Not really.
Good job, Raz.
I mean,
GG.
I've got to go by my character rules, and I can't feel bad for it because it's not my decision.
If anything, I feel like you wish that dice rolls had come out
Yeah,
differently.
dice is a piece of shit.
It has nothing to do
It
with
happens
you.
so much.
Dude.
I'm like, look, I got a plus. This is a +5 skill. I'll get something good. It'd be like negative, 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 and I'm like, you know what? Fuck this game. When it comes to like physical dice, there are so many like different like things that people do. Where it's like if they will shame their dice if they've been bad, they will like throw dice away, and they will like try to get like roll out all the bad rolls. Like there are so many different like little ceremonies people do. Like, so it's not just you, man. It's I
not
get so
just you.
upset, and then Hazel gets like these kick-ass rolls, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I get like 3s and 2s every time. She gets like 6s and like shit. And I'm like, fuck you. So unfair. I don't get nothing. I don't think I ever get any good rolls barely. It happens once in a while, but I'm like, come
I'm
on.
sorry, Raz. I'd give you some good rolls if I could.
You take
but-
all the good rolls, man.
Roll
Hey.
20 is butt.
Hey, to be fair, there are times when Hazel has gotten screwed over. There has been some times.
Athletics rolls.
Exactly.
You got shot because your athletics wasn't fast enough.
And strength rolls.
It's fair. It's surprising because Hazel was fucking strong as shit.
I didn't have enough spaces.
Yeah, strength is like, it's so silly.
She has a very high.
I can knock the hell out of this guy, but I can't pick him up.
Yeah,
She knows how to punch, not how to lift.
But don't you,
she
don't
doesn't
you,
even lift.
but... Do you even lift, bro? Apparently not. So I guess that's that one. Who is anybody not gone?
No, I think we've all gone.
Mhm.
What? What is your character's biggest achievement?
I can't talk about mine.
I know what it is too.
Yeah, seriously. Well, I mean, considering.
Oh,
Go ahead,
yeah.
Mish.
That thing.
Up to where we are.
You guys had the bank event happen, and then some dude came in the alley and was like, "Hey, give me that spear thing."
Yeah, I remember that.
And then there was a fight, and then you guys went to the quarter Express. No, not
That's
Quarter.
the broken.
What's it called? Yeah,
The
I
eighth
know.
rest.
Eighth
The eighth rest.
The Quick Brown Fox, and
Oh heck.
I can say the biggest. Well, I mean, the biggest achievement would be the alleyway thing where he killed the father.
nice.
That
Father.
that and fucking getting the money from the library lady. That was fun. Like
Yeah.
with that intimidation rule, or what's it called? What's the rule for that?
Oh yeah,
Provoke.
it's not. It's
Provoke. Yeah.
yeah,
Provoke.
provoke. We might as well rename
Hazel
it.
got us out of the goop, right? Hazel did.
Yeah,
she found the key card thingamajiggy.
Hazel's
also
got, like,
kicked-
that
No,
kick-ass
I think
investigation.
Percy had it.
I think Hazel kicked somebody through a wall.
That's
She did on the top floor of the bank.
That's not spoilers.
Oh, okay, so
That was at the bank.
Yeah, it was at the bank. She kicked
Oh, yeah, that's
one of the guards.
Oh, also proud of you collecting money in his boot.
I like that. That was cute.
That was awesome.
Him in that giant ass boot filled with money.
Biggest boot he ever had.
That's some good shit. What about you, Ash?
Huh? Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Oh yes. I've been trying to think, but I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Laying in the goop.
Playing in the goop was good. That was a great achievement.
Okay, when Azim not
You got
killing
the
anyone.
egg. You got the
Percy,
mysterious egg.
he got an egg, but what is the egg?
He didn't get blinded by Hazel's light thing,
Honestly.
even though he was right there.
I've had some good roles.
Yeah.
I've done some good things. I haven't died yet. Spoilers.
Spoilers. And you're gonna have so much editing.
Yeah, I would
That's
say
fine.
that there is one really good achievement, but sadly it's in the future.
What is it?
The one
Oh.
from last camp. The one from last session.
Yeah.
What did you do last session?
Oh my God, Ash.
Ash, yeah. As
Alright.
friends.
Song, just type it in chat. All
I'm
right,
going to.
all right. I think we've all done a big achievement. Oh, now it's my turn.
Yeah, you're the DM.
Okay, I've actually had some time to think about this question. What is the most difficult? Okay, so imagine that, like,
Read the question because people can't see this, right?
Yeah, they can see it, but
What
they're looking
Oh, they
straight at
can?
it.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been showing like
Okay.
that thing the whole time.
Okay, cool. What is the most difficult thing about being a DM? Well, imagine that you run a daycare and you have 5 children running around in it that are yours.
Uh,
And then your friends come over and they're like, hey, can you like watch our kids for a while? And you're just like, okay. And you try to lead these kids along through like nap time and reading time and art time and all this stuff. But these 4 kids are just like, fuck you. And they just run around, wrecking shit, beating up your kids. And, and eventually you just have to get to a point where you're just like, fine, fuck it. Go climb on the play structure. I don't give a fuck anymore. Who cares?
You know you love us. Fuck your shit.
I love how I'm picturing this campaign as opposed to the last one, because the last one was
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
hmm
So,
So
who has a favorite what the fuck moment?
the whole bank thing was a fucking what the fuck moment.
Oh,
I
yeah,
did not
that was-
enjoy it, but at the same time I enjoyed it. I was so done,
Yeah,
and yet I
same.
was like, this is the fucking stupidest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, like by the time we got done with that session, I was just like fuming. I was like, fucking Jesus
It's
Christ.
like the worst.
Jesus Christ on a cracker.
I'm actually surprised we got past that and didn't just fucking kill ourselves.
Honestly.
Because I hated everyone at the end of that.
Yeah, same.
Fuck you all. Except Unum.
Unum did a great job.
Yeah, Unum is like super useful while we just fuck everything up the whole time.
He's just like, here, this is how you get into the bank. I'm gonna leave now. And then you guys are like, fuck!
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
Eh,
We killed people.
mhm.
Well, I
That-
have to admit, I really enjoyed
Thinking-
when we blinded the old lady and took her shit. That was fun.
Yeah.
that's good.
I have a what the fuck moment, but I can't talk about it.
See?
Yeah.
We
Is it future or past?
Future, most likely.
It's
Okay.
future, and everybody was mad and screamed for blood.
Oh,
Oh.
jeez, I don't remember.
Yes,
My
you
what
do.
the fuck moment was the wine. That's all I'm saying.
Go on.
No more needs to be
The
said.
wine.
I remember.
I don't remember the one. I don't know what song's talking
That's
about. I
happened,
don't know
has it?
anything. I don't know. That's not wine.
I typed my answer in the chat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's fair. This campaign I'd have to agree with Raz on the bank thing. What the fuck?
Yeah, that bank thing was just
I think
one
that's the
big.
most what the fuck thing ever in like this whole.
Because it was that whole campaign. I mean,
Yeah,
not whole
session.
campaign, whole session. Jesus.
No, the
just
whole
like-
what the fuck campaign was our first was the first arc. Was the
First
first
arc.
campaign
Camping.
first
Who
campaign.
even are you?
Oh god, no, don't no.
Please.
Oh god. That video that
Yes, that video
I'm
that I had saved on my computer.
of course you do. It's like 11 minutes. I need to make another one and just make it 1 minute. Like 1 minute of animation is enough. Like Jesus Christ.
Alright.
So, what do you struggle the most with when role playing?
Fucking keeping all the
aspects.
voices. Sorry.
That's
You go.
Characters. No, go ahead, Ash. Ash, Ed. Jeez. Sorry.
I almost said who do I look like and then I realized
I'm sure we don't look that different.
I think we look different enough. What do you struggle? Okay. Accents, keeping everybody straight, keeping everybody's motive straight because oh my god, there's always like a million different things going on that and you guys only know like half of the million things that are going on and I have to keep it all straight and remember everything and not get shit mixed up and then also accents and then also like yeah.
Do you have to keep it all straight, Ed? Do you really?
No, everything is very very gay. I'm not going to lie. What about you, Ash? You were saying, no, God damn it!
No, Ash, you go next. 'Cause everybody wants to
Raz.
answer. Everybody wants to
Raz.
answer.
Raz, what do you struggle most with when role playing? You were saying aspects.
Well, I mean, getting fate points or using fate points.
Ah, okay.
It's fucking difficult. But that's not role playing, is it?
It kind of is. It works into it.
I think that it's just tiring to play Nazim because he's so fucking loud and obnoxious during everything, and he always has to say something, and it's like the complete opposite. So that's very difficult. Always having to be the character is so hard, even though you want to tell him to shut the fuck up.
Right.
Stay out the way. You don't need to say something. You're not the leader. Shut up.
I see.
That's fair. How about you, Ash? Ash?
Yes, please, Ash, answer.
Well, I struggle a lot with like being confident in what my character is doing / saying, and like especially just like talking in general as the character. It's like, it's like awkward sometimes, and sometimes like my character is gonna say something that like I absolutely would not say. It's like, no. But yeah, yeah.
That's fair.
So yes, Song and Mishi.
I think I struggle most with solving problems because my character has no logic or academics or investigate.
Damn.
Well, wait till you
So-
meet my next character.
So it's like Ed throws us a problem, and like Yuna knows this information because he just happened to be there, but I can't do anything with it, and I can't even convey it because it's not like information that you can like charade, and like I stupidly made Yuna unable to write, so it's like,
We've all been
Okay.
through
Why?
random trying to explain things to people, and we're all just like, what? Can we logic this?
I didn't want him to write because I felt like that would make it too easy. That it would just be like, oh, here's a notebook, write it out, and then it would just be like, I might as well just have him talk.
Right.
So I made that he couldn't write just so that he stays as mute as possible.
I see.
So you wanted it to be difficult, is what you're saying. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but he became more difficult than I expected.
It's because none of us can understand him. He's just like 4 fingers. And then he's slapping stuff, and we're like, what the fuck are you trying to say?
That was
Does he want a cranberry?
25.
Unum's amazing.
Unum is great. Unum is A+.
So,
Uh, Song.
True.
Divide between my character and myself because there have been times, especially in the last campaign, where I made decisions where I would have done instead of what my character would have done, and that's gotten me in so much trouble. I've been relatively better about that with this campaign. In this campaign, it's more like. Am I allowed to talk about my backup character just a little bit?
Go for it.
I mean, if you want.
Well, it's like being able to. It kind of ties with the. Where's the question at? The character you cannot play kind of question, because I can play this character, just not well. Because my backup, in case my character dies, is a guy. And of course, with Hazel and Maris, I just use my normal voice, but I can't really use that with this character, so it's like trying to find the right kind of voice for them.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Mishy. I'm pretty sure.
I was gonna say, I was gonna make a female character and just use my normal voice.
Yeah, like you don't have to voice act like I do. I'm pretty sure Mishy has done a couple of Ovis's lines. Yeah.
I know, but I want to be able to kind of get out of my comfort box just a little bit. But at the same time, like through the past couple of days, I've been playing with what voices I can use, and like as deep as I can go is. Hold on. I think this is about as deep as I can go with my voice. The only problem is I can't really keep this up for very long.
Yeah, I that's fair. Like I remember.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like when I was, before puberty hit, trying to do Trigon voice really just wrecked my throat. Like and that's why it like sometimes I would only be able to kind of do it, and sometimes I would be better at it. And even then, it was yeah. There are different exercises you can do, but like it can definitely wreck your voice. So
Yeah.
be careful with that. Very careful.
I will keep that in mind. But it would be nice to just use a different voice for my character instead of just my default, hey, this is my character, blah, 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 and just go like a different route. Like
Yeah.
originally, Hazel was supposed to be British, but I can't do a British accent to save my life. The only time I can do it is when I'm making fun of one of my family friends.
Fair enough. So you don't want to talk like this, love.
We have a lot of
Yeah.
European viewers.
It's less that the love thing. It's more like, have you lost your plot? What are you doing, girlfriend? Go out there and get yourself a guy. That kind of thing.
Get rid of all the T's in letter, and you're good.
What?
You gotta drink a bottle of water.
No, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'll just laugh myself to death if I
Get
did
the
that.
bottle.
I think we just lost like 50% of our viewers.
Ah, well, fuck
We
you.
only have one Ed.
Yeah,
We-
and she's
what happened to
Swedish,
Gabby?
who cares?
We lost 50% of Gabby.
Oh
Gabby's
no.
not English.
Oh no. No, but the only thing I could say in a British accent is swell. Because the friend I based Hazel off of, she's terrified of squirrels, but she doesn't say squirrel, she says swell. I'm terrified of swells.
Well.
That's the only thing I can do properly.
All right. Well, I can help you figure out voice stuff if you really want to, but like even if it's just like a slight difference in tone, it doesn't have to be the perfect voice for you to do a different, this is my character voice, Anyway, moving forward through
Yeah.
all the arcs, who is your favorite NPC and why?
Ooh.
What?
Shit.
I have a list.
Radagast.
Radagast.
remember
Why would you
Radagast.
go for the creepy one?
He was funny.
Like, I love how much thought was put into that character.
I wish I hadn't killed him off so quickly. I was, you know what? I was expecting someone to frickin' interrupt that scene. I was waiting for it. I was banking on it, and it didn't happen. I was like, fuck, I guess he dies. Whatever. But anyway.
Me.
What?
Yeah, Radagast was great. Who
Mhm.
else?
List off some. Do you have a list, Ed?
That's
I have
a
a
long list.
Help.
Yeah.
Help me.
Like,
copy
think towards
paste
this-
it.
think towards this
Rue.
thing, yeah.
There's Rue. There's Dax. Dax is one of my favorites. Although I have not been the kindest to her. And then I had, Trigon and Atal, and of course, and then there was the Queen, and then there was who else? I'm trying to think. Like there was like the Spirit Sage potentials.
Oh no.
I need to figure out a plot that's not just like, oh my god, we're gonna have a plot surround special people with special things. Yeah, Anyway, so yeah, there are those kids, and then there was Sam, and then there was gosh, who else was there? There was a bunch of people.
I liked Rue and Dax. I really liked their like conflict arc thing. It was
That
very interesting.
That was pretty fun.
I wrote a short about that, shockingly.
Yeah, I remember that. That was really cool.
'Cause that was one of my favorite things of watching. I can't remember what happened, but it was like that place was burning or something. There's like so much shit going on.
Yeah, there was a lot of shit
Like
going
Ovis,
on.
I think
Oh
that
my
was
god.
when Ovis was talking about his hatred and shit, and I was like, damn son. And then Rue's hatred or something. It was so dramatic, and I was like, this is awesome.
Oh yeah, it was the dramatic reveal where Rue revealed not to person but to Vivian and like his whole evil plot to kill Dax, and Vivian was just like, what the fuck? Cinnamon roll is a cinnamon roll. And like, yeah, I remember you wrote a short off of that. That was a really fun one.
Dude, so weird.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, Rue, Dax, and Trigon and Tall are definitely the four big NPCs of last campaign. Trying to think of more. There were more. There was Charlotte and Powers.
There was
There's,
also that one,
Anarchy.
Yeah.
the guard that Mishi bullied into quitting his job.
Oh no.
Yes.
Wasn't there Bread? No. Dale Lee.
Dale Lee. I forgot Dale Lee. Oh my god.
He was
was
a good
great.
dude.
He was a good. Who else was there? No, there wasn't too many. But yeah, song. Who's your favorite? Choose one. Choose one now. You have 5 seconds.
Trigon's my favorite, and Natal being a close second.
All
There
right,
you go.
that's
Why?
fair.
Why? That's why.
I don't have to tell you.
There's a why at the end of that question, so yes, you do. This is for Gabby.
True.
You would not do this for Gabby? That would be totally.
Just how he
uncalled for.
transitioned from Raz Upshut. I just like the transition. He went from being the sociopath asshole to like
I'm pretty sure you liked him before. I mean, Maris locked him in her closet or whatever.
My sociopath.
library.
Her library. All right.
This is my
Her basement library. Okay, it wasn't in the basement, but I think of it as a basement.
When you say basement,
Like-
it just sounds like a BDSM thing.
Like before he was even like anywhere close to a redemption arc.
Okay,
like
okay.
she forced the redemption arc.
Yeah, she forced the redemption arc specifically because when they visited the mansion in the last campaign, and Maris realized that there was more to Trigon than met the eye. That he had she saw that there was a potential thing that he had a fucked up childhood, and she was able to relate to that. And so she's just like, okay, what if this isn't what it seems? What if there's more to this than just black and white? And that's why she locked him up, because she figured there might be something that she could save from him. And then the freaking second arc happened, and she ended up choosing Atal over him, and then that happened, and he just got stuck in the friend zone.
Wild.
That was a silence after that.
But
I like-
but-
I liked Lawrence from this arc, or Florence.
oh, Florence, no.
That's true.
That's not a spoiler, is it?
No, it's not.
That was the bank.
He's the one who did it. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's and then in the next there's Annika and
Wait, is he there? Yeah.
Toshiro
Yeah.
is my favorite in this campaign.
he hasn't been revealed yet. I don't think.
Wait, have you?
Spoilers.
I'm sorry.
No, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. Yeah, spoilers.
Damn.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean,
It's
that means
okay.
it's only been
Okay.
Annika and like Itness.
The Rat Boy
Yeah.
and Itness. Yeah.
Like I like Annika. Annika's cool.
Yeah, Annika's pretty awesome.
She's a interesting character.
That's fair.
I like her.
All right. Alrighty. Mishi had not yet answered the question.
Yeah.
I was the first to answer. I said Radagast.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
Son of a bitch.
All right. So we've all answered that one now.
I was like,
Answered first so that if I left, you guys could keep going.
Who's your favorite NPC?
oh wow.
Who did that?
Yeah, who
Me.
did that?
That's the wrong button.
I don't care. I just wanted to do
You're
a button.
fired.
Aw.
I can still see the words.
Me too.
So Ed questions.
Me questions.
So go
Oh
ahead,
yeah.
Ed, answer. I'm just
No,
kidding.
you guys answer first. I'm the one who asked.
Uh,
Um,
And
how did the mods come across the Victubia?
I saw the YouTube video first.
Ah,
The trailer, I think.
oh, nice.
That's
I
why.
was.
Oh, go ahead, Ichi.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Keep going.
No, you go.
You go.
No,
You go.
no,
Yes.
I refuse.
You guys are
You go.
ridiculous. Alright,
You
alright,
go.
alright,
We're just like, no, you
alright.
go.
Okay. I was watching my favorite YouTuber's videos and looking through his tag, and then I saw like it was just like a couple of sketches of people, and I was just like, "Ooh, this is good art." And then I went to see who made them, and Gabby was like doing the Victubia thing, and I started watching the videos and stuff like that. And then like there was a stream, and I joined the stream, and I was a big fat awkward sauce person. Like I think mods warned me like 3 times not to spam in all caps.
You were one of those people.
Exactly. And yeah, at that after a while, I just hung out in the Victubia community making fanfics until I was like, I want to run a game. How do I do?
Dude,
And
I weaseled into Victubia modding because I became friends with the mods. It's just, hey, I like you guys are cool. Then I hung out with them, then all of a sudden I was a mod, and I was like, are you fucking serious? Why?
I remember, like, Taz was all like, "Oh, I remember that person. That person wants us to call them Raz." I'm like, why isn't their name Raz then? I was like, why?
Because Shadow should
Okay.
been my thing for like ever.
It's a nice name though.
I like it. It's like
Shadow Chevalier.
Yeah, it's Shadow Knight, pretty much.
same.
It's not a game. Oh no, that's Shovel Knight.
That was adorable.
Meta Knight?
Meta Knight's a thing too. Shovel Knight. So.
You go, Raz. Go again.
Again?
Tell it from a different perspective.
I watched YouTube, saw the video. But I remember seeing the what do you call them, the speed paints before Victubia, and I was like, I like her art. That's when I was a fan of Cry.
Oh
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, that's cool. I like Cry. Cry's awesome. Back then,
Yeah, he
I was
is.
a fan of like a lot of YouTubers back then that are now I don't really like.
I
Yeah,
still wave in and out a lot, but yeah.
Like, I mean, I
I
don't.
watched very few.
It's like Cry, like it's like he's cool. I used to be really into his stuff, and I used to really hate his fans because they were all thirsty little 12-year-old girls that wouldn't shut up ever about the fact that he sneezed, and I
Oh
wanted
my
to
gosh,
just curb
but
stomp
he
them.
sneezed.
It's like, oh my god, Cry had a human bodily function, it's the sexiest thing ever, and I'm like, what? You kids need to go outside.
I remember
The air.
Right?
as a 12-year-old quote-unquote girl Cry fan,
Oh my god,
I
you-
thought I was like better than all of them because I was all like, yeah, they're just a bunch of immature, like stupid people like saying things like he's like sexy and stuff. Well,
Yeah.
you're like 12, and I was like also like 12,
Fair enough.
and it was like, and I thought I was so much better. It's like, no, I'm still some shithead 12-year-old. So it's like, doesn't count.
I was
And I kept thinking like, when's he gonna reveal his face though?
Oh no, you're one of those.
I was like, he'll probably do it at like 1 million subs.
Yeah, no.
I never wanted Cry to show his face. I was just like, please don't. Just don't.
I
do
was
it.
just curious, but now it's like, well,
Everybody like assumes if you have a good voice, you're gonna look amazing, and I'm like, it's not gonna be the case.
true.
Hint, hint. Geralt of Rivia's like voice actor. It's like no offense to him, but it's like. the
Yeah,
video-
you
the video
you expect something on par
with the cosplayer guy, but then it's not.
yeah, and then it's like, oh, okay.
No offense
That's
to the
fine.
guy, of course, but he's just not how you'd expect it when you have a cool
Yeah,
voice like that.
Exactly. Which is fine. I'm pretty sure I have a voice nobody expects me to have. But yeah, like, yeah.
It sucks when you have the voice that's bad and the face that's bad. Double
These are not properly synchronized. But yeah, like I remember like getting super up in arms when about like people were like trying to figure out Cry's name and arguing about that, and just like with my background on things, I'm just like respect
Yeah,
his needs. Is that
Privacy,
hard?
please.
Is that difficult? If you're not being a good person. How about you, Song? How did you get involved with all this nonsense?
Nonsense. Victubia is awesome. Shut up. I'll fight you. Just kidding.
I think it was the video on YouTube that got me into Victubia.
Cool trailer.
Yeah, the
That
trailer.
trailer was fucking badass. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, that was around the time when because that the time I found Victubia was like probably a couple, at least a month and a half after I found out about Cry. So I was still hyped up about like, oh well, I like PewDiePie. Oh, I like Cry. I like Marcia. I like Chrism. And ooh, this is a trailer about YouTubers. Awesome. And yeah, that was also why I was so hyped about Cryname.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, Cryname.
I never really got too into that.
Yeah, I was on
Like,
Victubia's thing the whole time, and I was like, Anime, no thanks.
I was
Yeah,
It seemed like a cool concept, but
Yeah, it was cool, but I was just not into it.
yeah, I could tell right away that they were taking on more than they could chew.
Yeah, that
but
was a
Yeah.
huge thing.
yeah.
I still follow both the artists, folks.
Yeah, I remember who they are.
Mhm.
I was but yeah, I think that's how I got involved into it.
So,
And then
Ash,
eventually I found out that there was a Tumblr. I
Mhm.
think that was the first time I realized that there was a Tumblr. Now that I think about it.
Wild.
yeah, my Tumblr got used because of Victubia, to be fair. Because my friend made me a Tumblr, and then she was the one who kept posting stuff on it because I would never use it.
I never used mine. Like the last post I made on my Tumblr was about the plushies.
I remember that.
God damn, I kind of want to get those plushies still, but I'm not. As,
Yeah, that's fair.
So now
You'll
Ash,
get
I'm trying to wean myself from the last campaign.
So Ash, it's your turn.
Oh yeah. I think I was on Tumblr when I first found it actually, and I was either looking through the tag, probably of like Cry stuff, like, and I was like, oh, this is really cool art.
Look at that. We
What
all
else?
like to cry.
Yeah,
We're like, Cry's
yeah.
awesome. It's like,
Yeah, so I was like, this is a cool artist. This artist is like 12 times better than all the other artists here. What's up? So I went and checked out the Tumblrs, and I was like, whoa, there's more stuff. And then I found out that there was a trailer for, whoa, a thing. So I kept like finding things, and I was like, this is cool. So I like followed, and then one day like Gabby reblogged an Ed thing or something of Ed being all like, game? And I was like, and yeah.
I actually remember when Mishi was like suggesting people to join, and I was like, I would like to, but no. No thanks. I want nothing to do with this.
And yet here you
Yeah, it
are.
was just like back then. I was like, there's no way in hell I would join this. I was
How
like,
embarrassing.
it was more that I didn't I didn't think I would have time. But then back then I had a lot more
Oh god,
work. Huh?
cat.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
God damn it, Ash.
But I have to admit, like, I found Victubia when I was looking for a community to be in, because I was, like, playing a fucking MMO to find people. That's how sad my life was before I found Victubia. I literally played Final Fantasy Online, and I found a good guild, but then it got disbanded because the cool leader left to join a big guild. And pretty much said,
Wow.
and he's like, I'll
What
give
a
the
fucking
guild to one of
poser.
you guys to take it over, and everybody was like, no. So then I lost, like, the only friends I had. So I was just like, I need something else, because it's, like, crazy.
Yeah, I lost all of my friends and like a good majority of my family, and I had like no life. So I was just like and I'd only gotten like a Tumblr because I was like going on like what like that one of those like chat roulette things
Oh, Jesus.
and like role playing Sherlock with people because season 2 was on this terrible cliffhanger and I was upset and I needed to like know what happened and all that stuff. I was obsessed with Sherlock and Doctor Who and like before the shows got bad, when they showed promise, and like somebody on there was just like, "Hey, I have a Tumblr. You should make a Tumblr too." And I was like, "Okay." And then somebody started posting like horror game clip videos, and that's how I found Markiplier and Cry, and eventually Minx. And then it was just like, oh, all these people are in one universe that's steampunk. Give it to me. Give it to me now. Yeah, that's how I started flailing around in the background in the Victubia community.
I just remember, like, when I first started watching the YouTubers and such, I was in that 12-year-old YouTube watching fan awfulness, and it was a mess, because it started out with my, like, friend being like, lol, barrels, and I'm like, what do you keep making references to? And she's like, it's just really cool YouTuber. And I'm like, okay. And then through watching PewDiePie for a while, that didn't last long. I started watching crap. And then I found like Minx and all the other folks. And like I didn't find Mark for a while, but then like one of my other pals was like, here's this other YouTuber. I'm like, oh yeah. And now I don't really watch them as much anymore, but I mean I watch Game Grumps now.
Hell
Yeah.
Hell yeah! Sorry.
All roads lead back to Game Grumps.
I love Game Grumps.
They're
Game
like the
Grumps.
one constant. I almost said one congruent.
I
almost- There's a YouTube Red series that they made, not
Yes.
series, a YouTube Red movie that they made that actually sounds amazing.
Have you seen the first episode? It's for free.
Is
Yeah, it
Ah!
has like I must admit it has a little bit of like offensive humor in it that I'm like, oh my god, guys. Like they're making it kind of like edgy humor at times, and I'm just like, oh my god. But I mean, it's fucking hilarious. I loved it.
Usually they have a good balance when they mess with stuff like that. So
I'm obsessed with Game Grumps because I like watching them every fucking day.
Yeah.
They're the only YouTubers I can watch now and not want to punch them in the face.
yeah, same. I still drift back to the other guys, but eventually it's still just like, oh yeah.
I mean, like, Cry
yeah.
doesn't make videos much anymore. He's, like, streaming everything, so I
Yeah.
don't get to watch his streams, so I'm just like, eh. Plus, I hate his stream chat usually, so I don't ever want to go there.
Exactly. Like I watch his stuff when he actually uploads.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't seen anything lately.
I
Yeah,
know
there
like a
hasn't been
few
much.
months ago there was a really good playthrough of like what happened to oh god, it was so long ago. Oh yeah, and he also usually does Telltale stuff, and I'll watch that. Oh yeah, he did like Rakuen
Yeah, that's
and
the thing I wanted to watch.
What Remains of Edith Finch. That was a really cool game.
I still need to watch that one.
Yeah, I started watching that one. I think we've answered this question
Yeah,
pretty
we did.
well.
We kind of went off on a
I
tangent.
haven't answered.
Oh, that's right. Missy,
Thanks, Ed.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's
You
because-
answered it really well. Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the next one.
No,
You guys can't see,
no,
but I'm
Mishi,
hiding
go.
under my desk.
Why
No.
can't Ed kill our
No,
PC?
Mishi, answer the question, please.
Eh.
We respect your answer.
Inspector Ed.
Ed-
It was way back to. Okay, so I started off. I was in high school. I started drawing. I started wanting to share my drawings. I went to DeviantArt, and then there was a cool artist I liked. And then she said she was deleting her DeviantArt, and moving to Tumblr. So then I went to Tumblr, and then I saw that she uploaded art for Cry. And I was like, cool, who is this? I have no idea who this is. I started watching his videos, and then I saw that Gabby made really, really nice thumbnails for him. And I was like, who is this? So I went to her streams. And then I was like, what is this thing that she's drawing and themed with the other thing that she drew? What is this? And that's how I found Victubia.
Sweet. What's this? There's Steam.
How is it? How is it? It's all. It seems like a lot of Tumblr involvement
Yeah.
is going on there. Maybe that's why it's so hard to leave, because like all of it's like when somebody tells you that you need to move from this chair because this chair is gonna like collapse in on itself, but you're just like, but I like all my stuff is here.
Like, I only use Tumblr for Victubia stuff and then, like, random art things that I see. That's about it.
I follow too many people.
I follow
And I block too
nobody. Apparently.
Yeah,
Like, it's like most of the things I see are reblogged by everybody, and they all reblog the same shit. So I kind of like start deleting people. I'm just like, nope, it's the same
Right.
shit as everybody else. So I'm just like,
Same.
Yeah. So
That's
now
fair.
we're on to the last question. Ed, why don't you read this?
Yeah.
why can't I? Why am I having difficulty on occasion with killing your PCs? Give
On
me
occasion?
tips. I need them.
On every occasion.
Hey, nobody knows if I have or have not killed your characters at this point.
He hasn't.
Spoilers. The fact that you made this a question, Ed, proves it.
I didn't.
Oh, I thought you made it this Ed's question.
I was just going with it because it's like
So-
It was
okay.
Mishi who wrote
Mishi,
that.
of course it was Mishi.
Of course it was Misty.
I literally thought Ed did it at first. I'm like, Ed, why would you
At the
do this?
beginning of the podcast, we agreed that Mishi is our troll.
She's
At
awesome.
the beginning of this podcast, I identified her as the culprit.
So Ed, why can't you kill our PCs?
I'm following 4,000 people on Tumblr. Anyway,
Fuck, Ed.
1,000? How the fuck?
so,
What?
yeah,
I mean,
Why-
I'm following 95 people, but half of them don't ever post.
so why can't I kill your PCs, assuming I haven't killed any of them
Because you're a
yet?
scrub. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I know.
I think it's because you subconsciously want our PCs to live forever.
That's not true. Not forever.
It's because you're so nice.
I mean, you put our PCs in pretty tough situations, but you always let us bend the rules and be like, but what if? Let us do the what if I. So
Ed,
I
the
mean,
suggestion I have for you is give us a time to act, so that, like, you kind of give it, like, I want it to be more urgent. So, like, if you give us, like, a time thing to act, so, like, we can't just, like, take our time and be like, I'm gonna think this
Ooh.
through forever. And it's like, no, you should make us think
Another-
on the fly, at least some parts.
ooh, another one. We can't go back for fate points. Where it's like, I want to wait to see how you roll for fate points, or like we ask you like, but I can fate point that if I need to. You should be more like, it's up to you if you want to fate point this or not. I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, I like
You
that.
should let
You
us.
did that.
You should let us waste fate points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah, that's true. I've managed to do that all of one time.
Yeah, you should. I remember, like, it's like when you did that, I was like laughing so hard because I was like, yes, do that. Because it's like, what if I did this? And you're like, I don't know. And then they did, and I'm like, well, you just wasted something. I'm like, there you go, perfect.
That's what happened to me in the last.
Spoilers.
Never mind.
Spoilers. That's a little too. That's not vague enough. You got a vague blog.
Make it. Yeah, I want you, like, I want, like, moments of, like, this time thing would be great. Say it's like you have, like, certain amount of time to act. And no, like, backing down from your first choice. You have to make it difficult. You can't just give us a way out every time. You have to be like, that's it. That's it. When you hit the button, you've already done it.
But do we
Fair enough.
really want more salt than we already get during fights?
Yes.
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 It makes it fun, and then we get
Makes
to
it
be angry.
very
Like, it's
savory.
frustrating. It's frustrating while you're in the moment, but like when you're out of it and like you watch it as a viewer, it's more interesting if there's
Yeah.
more at stake, if there's more consequence. Because if there's no consequence, there's no point.
Yep, exactly. Conflict is what makes a story.
Conflict.
Also, your character like overcoming obstacles. Like what if it's a nothing obstacle, then what's the point?
Yeah, like
Also-
look at Unum. What has he done except give people vegetables and fruit?
Well, spoilers.
You don't know because I did everything off camera.
Mishi does everything off camera, so we have no idea what Mishi's doing.
Speaking of, I'll save that for later. But yeah,
For all the viewers know, Unum is actually the antagonist.
Antagonist.
he could be. He could be the one behind everything.
We
The
So-
world may never know.
the podcast.
We did the podcast. We did it.
Nice.
Yay.
Say thank you, Gabby, for watching and being the only one.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you for being
you.
patient with us for
Yeah.
half a year.
We're sorry.
Yeah,
Mostly me. I'm sorry. Not that no one else is sorry, but I mean I'm the most responsible, so I'm very sorry.
I'm sorry that I was the one who messed up the audio and didn't fucking notice. That was already
it's-
fucking.
Dude,
Done.
that just happens. That's just
That made me
happens.
so angry when I was like, oh yeah, I did everything. Everything's good. And I look at the video and it's like, like what the fuck is this shit? Good God.
Same.
But yeah. Now we should end this
Yeah.
podcast.
was good.
Cool.
Was a
Should we
good.
say something at the end of this? I don't know how to end podcasts.
Okay,
Good
thanks.
job.
Bye.
Oh my god. Legit, are we done? Do you want me to just stop recording?
Yeah. We're good.
Bye now.